Right, so that was a little bit disappointing. Unfortunately, I don't think this car has got the sports exhaust option, and even then it's also got a DPF filter, which means it does sound a little bit muted compared to the pre-facelift one, which sounds a little bit louder. So you can buy a back box, or you can get like a nice exhaust system, Quicksilver. You can get a Tech if you want to. That's very popular with these, and it will sound even a lot better as well, especially nighttime as well. It's a beautiful, unique sound, that V5. But they don't say V5, they say like, you know, that 5-pot to be exact. It's a lovely, unique sound, which is just harmonious. It's just beautiful. It does something. And especially when these are in the RSs, the Ford Focus RSs, they just sound so nice. I think with an Audi RS3, when you put the exhaust, you've got, I think there's just something about an Audi where it's more classy compared to a Ford Focus RS. Not the new ones, but you guys know the 2011, 2012, 2013. With those ones, you can put a big, massive exhaust and it sounds beautiful. And that sound that we know from this 5-cylinder engine just comes alive. But yeah, this car's about £42,000, which is not bad. I think these cars would definitely hold their value. And it's, you know, going to be one of those future classics. As we move towards electrification, people, I think, will want to buy this as a collector's item. And especially, as I say, comparing it to the new one. Even though the new one does drive a lot better, it does have that, like, it does sort of step out. You know, the back end does come out more. It does have a bit of an oversteer character to it. However, I think with this generation, people agree with me that this is a better generation. If you own the new Audi RS3, comment down below. Do you prefer the old generation if you've owned the older generation, which is this one, or do you prefer the newer one? The newer one, granted, will obviously be faster, but it's not all about speed. I think it's all about the emotions of the car. But guys, this concludes the video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Sorry about that, guys. The guy was just making a phone call. This is still a garage and a business, so shout out to Lucas Premium all the time for selling some beautiful stock. As you guys can see, they've got Porsches, they've got Range Rovers, they've got Mercedes EQAs, they've got all sorts of cars here. So anyways, back to business. As I was saying, this car's got different settings, so it's able to adjust the suspension as well as the exhaust, the engine, and the gearbox. So the gearbox is a 7-speed dual clutch. Now with these DSGs, they're not really reliable, so you got to make sure when you buy these cars that you're checking the service history, that whoever was the previous owner has serviced the gearbox as well as the Haldex 4-wheel drive system as well, because certain people just push these cars and redline this car. However, with this car, when you buy it from these guys, they'll give you a 12 months warranty, which will give you a nice peace of mind as well. So what we're talking here, we're talking about 400 PS, which is probably like 395 horsepower, which is good from 0 to 60 in about 4.1, 4.2 seconds, depending on tires, depending on the weather, and all those factors. So with this car, as I said, it's got the Quattro. So with this one, it's got a torque converter, which means for the most part, it drives on the front wheels, and if it detects slipping on the front wheels, then it sends the power to the back as well, so then the car is able to get you from trouble. So it's good for saving fuel and just having the car as a front wheel drive most times, which, you know, pretty much in the UK, you use a front wheel drive car for most of the year, even in snowy time as well. So that's fantastic. Another thing which I'll point out as well, guys, is the lovely carbon fiber trim as well, which is nice. It's that kind of glossy black as well. It's also on the side doors as well. Now with this being an Audi A3, there's not a lot of cabin space as well. I've got an Audi A3 and it's got exactly the same space as well. So if you're more than 6'2", 6'3", I think you might struggle when you've got guests in the back, because I tend to push my chair all the way back. So yes, so with this car, I think like going forward in terms of the future, I think this will definitely be a modern classic car, especially if this car was a manual. That'll even be better, but unfortunately it's not, so you know, it is what it is. But I think this is definitely going to be a modern classic. And the interior, even though it's kind of getting on a little bit, it doesn't look too dated. I do love these air vents. They've got this, like, you know, lovely metallic aluminum housing around it. Then you got the gloss black inside as well. And for a 4-year-old car, you know, it's about 4 years, isn't it? It's been maintained really well. You can tell that whoever owned this car loved it. And especially with the Alcantara on the edges here, you can tell, like, you know, the person really cared for this car. So yeah, we're just gonna do a little nice start up of the car and yeah, just go from there. Right, here goes nothing.